Hello there, long time no see. I am HCD01 and welcome to another instalment of The Moaning Show, or as you've seen in the trailers beforehand, The Moaning Show returns. And it has returned after a quite significant absence from the YouTube airways, so to speak, mainly due to the death in the family. My mum passed away in November 2013, and getting a new job and getting through that, and just general, not bone idleness, but a significant amount of time has to be contributed to these videos in order to make them work. But nevertheless, I'm back with a few less zeros and less than rules or whatever. HCD01 back with you for yet more moaning, and there are at least 4 or 5 more subjects that I want to talk about after this one, which is going to be talking to you all about share posts and like posts on social media, specifically Facebook, because that's the social media site that I personally use. I do have a Twitter handle, but at the moment I've barely used Twitter in the last 18 months or so. So it's mainly down to Facebook, and let's get on with it. Now, I am a member of Facebook. I did have a significant amount of friends for my own personal page, but I did quit Facebook because I was told sometime in 2010 that I was going to have to start paying. I don't know if any of you heard that from your Facebook pages or whatever, but I was told that you would have to start paying by a certain date. Fortunately, that didn't happen, but I'd already deleted my account, so I had to set up another one and add all my friends again. But the funny thing is, Facebook is used by people all over the world for arranging meetings or arranging get-togethers, things like that, with the other people on it that are obviously close to you, things like that. And you get the amount of people on there that use it more or less like I do for family notifications, for instance. There are a lot of people that update Facebook, say 4 or 5 times a day with what they're having for lunch, dinner, whatever. And yeah, to some degree, yeah, it's interesting to find out, what you are doing at X time, or and the interesting thing about those people is that they're saying, oh yeah, I'm doing this or I'm doing that, and you get to a certain point where it's yeah, you're alright, you've got working fingers. See, the thing is with Facebook, and probably Twitter as well, I haven't done it myself on Twitter for, like I say, 18 months or so, it's the mere fact that you can now use these social media sites. Instagram's another one. I personally don't use Instagram or whatever, but all of these sites can be used anywhere there's a Wi-Fi connection, and most phones these days are Wi-Fi enabled. You can do all sorts with them. You can download apps or whatever. Specifically smartphones, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But one thing that Facebook / Twitter / social media that is becoming annoying is these so-called share posts and like posts. Just recently, in the last couple of weeks, we've seen number of occasions over the world in terms of sporting occasions, for instance, Lewis Hamilton just recently won the Formula One World Championship for the second time in Abu Dhabi a couple of weeks back. There was a cricketer who sadly passed away after a delivery of a cricket match bounced and hit in between his mouth guard and his helmet, in other words basically in the eye, and or in the eye area, and sadly he passed away because of the injuries he sustained. We've recently had, with it being early December, we've recently had the remembrance tributes all over the country, if not all over the world, you know, with poppies and things like that. And you get to a point where these share posts are becoming annoying, if anything. You see a significant amount of posts saying, you know, share this if you think Lewis Hamilton's the best driver of the year, or for instance with the cricketer, share this to post respect for X named cricketer. You know, I apologise for not knowing his name offhand, but as you know, with the Moaning Show, I don't want to do a tremendous amount of so-called research, if you see what I mean. There is an amount of research I will do if I'm moaning about a specific thing, but when it comes to share posts on Facebook, and maybe Twitter as well, like I say, I haven't used Twitter in 18 months. I don't use Instagram, and that's the final time I'll say that. But it's like, I saw one a couple of days ago that said, like if your daughter or son is the most important thing in your life, or share if you think that roses are red, you know, something bloody stupid like that. And it gets to a certain degree where X thing is, oh for bloody hell, shut up, you know. It's really annoying sometimes. It's like, share this if you think eyes are good to look out of, you know. It's getting that bloody stupid and that ridiculous. But it's how these posts clog up your so-called wall on Facebook. You know, you're flicking through Facebook to find out, you know, what's going on with your friends back in a different place. Or for instance, I live in East Devon. Most of my friends live in Surrey, you know, and it's interesting to find out. Sorry for the pause there. It's interesting to find out, you know, what they're up to, and you can't find out what they're up to because your Facebook wall is covered with these posts upon posts upon posts of share here if you think poppy should be worn every single day of the year, or share here if you think that the Nazis were a pain in the arse in the mid-40s, you know. It's like, for fuck's sake, shut up. If I wanted to express my opinions on something, like I'm doing now, for instance, I will do. You're pissing me off that much, it's actually led to the return of the Moaning Show. That's how much you're pissing me off. And quite frankly, you know, it's like, share if you have a niece or nephew that means the world to you. I'm an only child. I don't have any brothers and sisters, so hence I don't have a niece and fucking nephew. Piss off. It's getting up to here. It really is, you know. And it gets to a certain degree where, yeah, alright, it's like, share if you think hedgehogs have got spines. What the fuck? Shut up. But such is my utter annoyance of these posts. They clog up your wall, other than, you know, the thing that you're supposed to be doing or supposed to be looking at or whatever. You can't move for them. You can't. You're looking at X thing and you're thinking, and sometimes it's beyond ridiculous. It's like, well, sure, if you think traffic lights would go red, green, you know, to let cars stop and go, it's bloody stupid. But that's what I'm trying to get at. These share and like posts, it's like, and like posts are basically the same bloody thing, it's just a different word used, you know. It's like here, like this post if you think sweets are tasty or something like that, you know. It's just exactly the same thing. These people either have copied the post from another person or share here. And another thing my uncle out in Spain, hello Uncle Graham, pointed out is that a heck of a lot of these posts say they're a little bit like paper chains or paper mail. I can't quite remember the word of them, but you know what I mean when I explain it to you. It's like, share this if you want a chance, and that's another one I want to get back to in a minute. Share this if you think you'll be lucky in the coming year and you'll be set up with lots of hugs and kisses and good luck and things like that. If you don't share this, you'll have bad luck. Chainmail, I think it's called, something like that. And one of the worst ones is like, you see this thing, people have shared it. The supermarkets have started to do this. It's like, share and like if you want to be in with a chance of winning a £100 gift voucher or £200 gift voucher to spend in store. It's like, yeah, you're being fucking sneaky there. I've done a few of them in the past, like, share and like this if you want to be entered into a sweepstakes for April of this year to earn a 50 quid voucher or something like that. And that's how they get you with advertising, things like that. Enter your email here, nothing will go wrong. You get all this junk mail crap in your inbox and things like that, and it's ridiculous to the point where you're thinking, I'm not going to do this anymore, it's a waste of bloody time. Because the amount of people that see the adverts on Facebook/Twitter have to be in the millions, right? So you've got the chances of winning, they're like chances of winning the lottery, practically zero, you know. It's like, yeah. So I mean, if you want something to post on your Facebook wall about share this if you're pissed off with fucking share posts all the time, I'll take a picture and, you know, it'll last longer. And that's what gets my goat about these things, you know. It's like, well, you do all of this sharing and posting and everything, and 9 times out of 10 the person who created the bloody share post in the first place is someone A, you've never heard of, or B, they've been doing other things, you know. It's utterly ridiculous and quite frankly pathetic at the same time. So I kind of guess that I've run out of things to talk about in this particular edition, but like I say, it motivated me again to the oomph degree that I decided to record another video. And I started to take a look back at what happened to me in the past year or so with regards to, you know, internet usage or whatever. And there's a fair few things at the moment, or that I've thought about over the past couple of days since I announced that I was going to bring back the Moaning Show. But there's a couple of things that that I've noticed in the past, say, 6 months or so, that have really not got on my nerves to the oomph degree, but things that I've noticed that in the past Moaning shows, in its sort of previous incarnation, if you want to call it that I wouldn't mind having a bit of a talk about. So that's about it for this edition of the Moaning Show. Send links to your friends, family, and get people watching it, please. One of the things that I was a bit concerned about was the lack of views, and it does make you think sometimes. It's like, well, what's the point bothering? But I have had people on Facebook, my own Facebook wall, when it's not clogged up with sodding share and like posts, I have had people say to me, well, why don't you just do it anyway? So we'd like to share posts, you know, that's this one, we've done that, and sadly with one less person in the family there's a lot more free time to do stuff like this. There's, you know, in the past I would get called off to do a certain job, or the phone would ring, or, you know, something like that, and sadly these days that's, you know, not exactly the case. Other videos on the channel, I might bring back my top 5. There's a fair few things that I can think about just off the top of my head. So say greatest, as you can see from behind me, top 5 wrestling matches or something like that, because I've got my belts up on the wall there. Top 5 Grand Prix cars of all time, you know, because you can see the poster behind my head. Just general things. I mean, the channel is on a sort of rebirth state at the moment. There's not going to be a tremendous amount of wacky effects. My budget, like always, is practically zero for this sort of thing. I did get a video camera for Christmas in 2013, and I'm actually finding that the PS3 camera is still the main thing to shoot with. So again, that's about it for this edition. I'm back, don't know for how long. There's going to be at least 4 or 5 of these videos, and like I say, if you keep coming in with your comments and suggestions about what you want to complain about, then feel free, put it in the comment box below the video. A disclaimer says that there is possible foul language or whatever, and that's another topic for another show, because, you know, but like I say, that's another topic for another show. Thanks for watching. I'm HCD01, and I'll see you next time for more moaning.